In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one, the only, Cash Kraus.
I'm here, surviving that pandy.
Yep.
We all got to do it.
One day at a time, folks.
We got to do it,
the motto. Unless you live in the United States.
And 2020's kicking it up a notch. Did you see that explosion in Lebanon?
Yeah, I did. That was
holy
dude, that was
shit.
insane. That was straight out of a movie. Like that explosion
was like a nuclear
wild.
bomb.
Yes,
that was fucking insane, dude.
It just leveled that whole place too, man. It's just sad.
Oh, they have thousands of people that are homeless because they're out, all the buildings are that next to are gone. It's insane. And like 30 or like 70% of their economy gone in that explosion because it was their port that blew up. Yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah, 2020. Now we got explosions to worry about.
I guess they had like 27 tons of like explosive. I don't know what it was, but
oh, it was all it was all explosives, and it was all due to like corruption. Like it was just sitting there for years, and now Lebanon is in like a huge protest. The I don't know what it's called. The guy who runs the country, the president, I think, stepped down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he stepped down, and a new government is forming. Yeah,
I'm sure at some point you're like, yeah, it's probably too much for me.
It's crazy, yeah, but yeah, so 2020, it's exciting. Right when you think, can't get any
worse. Yeah. That's what we got to quit saying. It can't get any worse.
We have to stop.
If we've learned anything about 2020, it can always get worse.
It's like someone's listening.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys got no idea.
They're just trying to prove us wrong.
They got no idea what we got going.
I know. We still got 4 months left.
I know.
Kind of like 5.
It's the longest year of all time.
Dude, it is so like painstakingly slow.
It's awful. Last week felt like 4 months, and I don't know why, but I just came out of it like I felt 4 years older for some reason. It's weird times.
It is weird times, man.
But something we can always fall back on: film, television.
It does make it so much better.
a little 2-hour escape. Sometimes a little 3-hour escape if you're watching an India film.
No kidding. And the film we were going to talk about today was that 3 hours.
It's kind of a special occasion because we are doing our Foreign Film Friday. But we are releasing it. Well, it's not Foreign Film Friday.
It's not Foreign Film Friday anymore. This is part of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Every single week now, we are reviewing a Indian film.
Yeah, so usually they're released on Friday.
They are. But their new slot, we bumped them up. We said, hey, guys.
Wednesday's a good slot. Hey. It's a great fucking slot. But
nothing like being consistently on, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Every single week.
But yeah, last week we gave it a day late.
Yeah.
This week, 2 days earlier.
We make it up to the people. That's what we have to do. We have to make
there
it
was
up to them.
outrage. They took it to the streets. They said, we got to have it.
Give us our Have You Seen It podcast episode. We said, folks, it is
people,
coming.
We hear you. We're listening 2 days earlier. So now we are doing just an Indian review podcast or Indian view. I don't even know what we call it because it's not Foreign Film Friday anymore.
I'm going to go with
Indian Cinema
Wednesday, but I guess it would be what? It would be Wednesday.
It would be Wednesday, yeah. We could do that. It's not a great name.
No. I mean, if you have more clever names, put them in the comment below.
No, that would be great, yeah.
That's actually,
If there's a good one, we will pick out of the comments. Yeah. And we will make that our Wednesday.
Something catchy like Foreign Film Friday or Blockbuster Monday. You know, it's like.
Yeah, but something also Indian, related.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be India something, but something Indian related would be great. But yeah, this week we are doing Trance. That's the 3-hour movie we're talking about. But first, because Trance won the poll last week,
we're going to talk about our Indian cinema poll.
Got to put a new one in.
Got to put a new film in.
One falls, another one enters the place.
Another one rises, yes. And
in its place.
In the 4 films that we have, Ship of Theseus, Village Rockstar, Coffee.
And this week we are adding in Newton,
Yes, Newton.
the Bollywood black comedy.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. The
It's
one
got Panjak Tripathi in it. It's got
who's great, who's awesome and everything.
Raj Kumar Ryo.
Yes.
So
And we did a reaction on that. So if
We
you wanted
did.
to see it, go ahead, check it out. So that is what we are, that's what we're
I'll
putting
put
in the
that
poll.
link in the description in the below.
And make sure you vote and all that and leave a comment. Tell us what you think would. The guy, I've noticed now, the guy who, again, I think is predicted every single week.
He's
Commented
so
again
good.
this week. He's like,
You know what?
He's like, this week, he's like, last week I thought it was, but then I changed my mind. And he's right. He got it right every
He
time.
was right. And the thing is, like, I almost feel bad because we almost got to bring this guy up by name.
But
And he's just so consistent.
yeah, so see what he says.
And that's
it's
probably what's going
like
to win.
99.9% correct
The
everything.
guy's got to be a psychic. I mean, at this point.
He knows what films
he
hit. I don't
does.
know how, because I'm wrong, I feel like, every week.
He's got his finger on the pulse.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
really, ear to the ground.
Yeah.
He knows what the people like. Smart man, but
I think it's I think it's this guy right here.
I think that is him.
Vanj
Gongle? If that is you,
Gongle.
again, comment. We'll
Comment
see
below,
you. But
yeah.
I'm almost positive that is him.
I think
'cause
that's him,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure if you go onto the poll, he said something and he got it right. I'm pretty sure he said it was going to be Trance this week, which is crazy because Trance was in there last week and it didn't, or the week before and
right,
it
and
didn't.
win. And he didn't guess on it that week.
Yeah,
But then the next week he did.
maybe he's just like hacking into YouTube and he's just
He knows the algorithms, this guy.
or he's just stacking the votes. But yeah, and we have something else to announce too, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Let's go ahead and announce.
Well, I'm
it.
going to let you announce it.
Well, about the 5,000 subscribers.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I had forgot for a second.
It was it was literally your
It was literally
idea.
my idea.
Yeah.
So,
nice. We were great
That
on
was
this.
good.
We're
Yeah,
really good on
really
this
good timing.
YouTube channel. Yeah.
we are really pushing to hit 5,000 subscribers. We have two goals this year. We really wanted to hit 5,000 subscribers by September 15th. And then we would like to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Our first goal, our deadline is coming up. So we have decided if we hit 5,000 subscribers by September 15th, Cash and I will be doing a Q&A. So we'll post a community post, say, ask your questions here, make your comments here, whatever you guys think, and we will pull the best from those.
The first ever Have You Seen It Q&A.
Q&A.
We've never done it.
Never done
had
it
enough
before.
fans to need to.
I know. And I would really like to do it, but we got to hit
I would
that.
like
We
to,
got to hit
yeah.
that 5K. And when we hit that 5K, let's do it.
So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, share to everyone you know, because we got to hit 5,000 by September 15th.
Yes.
For us to
September
do it.
15th, which
Yeah.
is a little bit more than a month.
Yeah, we're almost at 4,000 right now, so we have a little more a month to hit it, but I think we can do it.
Yeah, so do I.
And it'd be awesome to do a Q&A. It'd be
would
really cool to take a bunch of questions.
And as you said before, too, like any of our videos that come up, liking it, commenting, hitting the bell notification, it helps with analytics so much because YouTube just does not register that unless those three things are done. So
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
sure-
You got to do all three, and you got to turn notifications on and subscribe for sure. And it helps us. Helps us make better material and get it out to you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Anything else you forgot? I mean, you wouldn't remember anyways.
I wouldn't
We
remember
could have four
anyway.
other things.
I got that short-term memory. I got
We could have 5 other things we have to talk about, and you're just saying, let's go. All right. Well, that is it. Let's get on to our review of Trance.
Trance, yes.
A behemoth of a movie.
Gosh, yeah, it was.
It's a long one.
It is a long one.
What's the runtime for this bad boy?
This is 170 minutes, 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yes.
No joke. Damn near 3 hours.
And it's not a Bollywood film
It is not.
either.
It
It is a
Malayalam.
Malayalam film. And it stars
Fahad Fazil.
Fahad Fazil, who's quickly becoming
Well, one of our favorites.
one of my favorites.
Yeah. He's got to be.
He's
I mean, he's so good.
damn good. And he's just like, again, he's like, I'm forgetting his name. The other actor we like.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about Nawazuddin Siddiqui?
He's just like Nawazuddin,
Yes.
where he's very, like you wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
You know? It's very low key, and then he comes on, it's on screen, and he just steals the show.
I know,
he's just like a regular Joe.
Well, in every single film that we've seen Fahad Fahad Fazil in, he is so versatile, dude. This guy he has played completely different characters every single time and has nailed every one that we've seen him in. He really is like phenomenal.
He does, but this one really, they really let him go crazy.
Yeah, they did. They did. They said, you know what? We trust you and how good you are as an actor. Just go for it.
But the film was so long that he was able to do that. He was able to just show 50 different sets of emotions and a huge range because he was just able to do that. They had to fill screen time, it felt like.
Yeah.
And they just said, let him go. And that is probably my biggest complaint of the film was I felt it was a little bit too long. Scenes that I felt were going to go on for 5 minutes went on for 30 minutes.
Right.
Scenes where I really thought was going to be a quick montage ended up just being huge like minor plots. It went on just a little too long for me. Like, especially the television interview scene.
Yeah, that one was super long.
Like, I thought that was going to be like a quick I knew something was going to happen where it was going to be, but oh my God, dude, that was like a 40-minute scene.
It was. It took a long time.
Usually you know where the arc is going, so you know it's going to happen. You know it's at his peak. Something's got to happen to where he's going to fall from graces. That scene was crazy. It was a live show for one. They tricked him into that.
They did.
But
and they tricked him into the questions, too. They didn't run it through his team.
But the longest live break of all time on TV, where he was able to go back to his dressing room, have one guy get on the phone, call a bunch of guys, and then him freak out, and then him go and drug. Was a 15-minute commercial break? You would have
to hate that. Watching that interview live and being like, well, all right, I'm going to run to the store and come back.
And then, like, they're live, you can't do anything. They're like, oh, he's like, whatever. And then he goes 15 minutes, and the guy's just sitting there, just doing nothing. Like, well, it's live.
It's wild.
There's stringent rules when you're live.
There are.
And you would never, ever get on a show and not know that it was live.
Like,
it's got a completely
your managers and everything, you have to know. You have to know it's live.
And on a live show, it's got a completely different tone than a show that's
pre-recorded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's for him not to know that, I thought that was a little far-fetched. But scenes like that, again, I thought went on entirely too long. Another scene I thought was the scene where he first gets going because let's just talk about the plot
premise
first.
Yeah, because I do want to talk about the premise first because I really did enjoy the premise of this film, and I thought the ideas were awesome. I do agree with you. I thought they were a little long-winded on the execution of this, and I thought that you could have condensed this film at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I do think that a film like this guaranteed 2 hours because there's a lot to get into, but I think you could have edited 30 to 45 minutes out of this and condensed some of those big scenes as we've been talking about.
Absolutely. And I agree with you 100% that like the source material, I see exactly like what they want. But it to me, it never felt like it knew what kind of movie it wanted to be. Did it want to be this psychological thriller? Did it want to be this drama? Did it want to be this kind of religious a film kind of about, you know, how religion has become more of a business now.
Commercialized.
But then it went on all these different directions. And then again, like a thriller, is he crazy? And then like the head corporation behind it, almost to where like
the mafia
or Illuminati.
Yeah, might have been Illuminati. Yeah,
like it was just like this hidden organization, but those guys were always in the same room together,
always,
and always not doing anything, just staring at each other.
Yep,
they never left the room.
Easy job.
They never separated.
No,
they're always. No matter what, you can find one guy, you can always find the other. They're
Solomon and Isaac.
It's crazy.
They're like Ben and Jerry. They never
always
separate.
in one room together, just by themselves. I thought that was, but yeah, again, I felt like it wanted to be all these different kind of things. Where at first I thought it was going to be just about this con man who kind of gets in over his head, you know, becomes this religious figure. Even when he doesn't even believe. And that is what it is at the start.
It is. And I like the way that they set up this character. You know, with obviously the tragic events in his family's life of dealing with suicide, his brother committing suicide, I thought gave enough motivation for this character who's just trying to be a motivational, you know, influencer, speaker. I thought it gave enough motivation for him to pursue something like this. Because we found out very early that he was an atheist. He didn't even believe in God.
Yeah.
He thought it was all, you know, horseshit.
Well, we meet Viju Prasad, who's a small town motivational speaker. and he's doing all right for himself.
He's doing all right.
But
he is trying.
He's trying, yeah. And I didn't even know you could be a small time. I thought it's either like you're there, or like if this
You're that one guy or not.
like why are we listening to this guy? He's just the biggest failure as I am. He's motivation on the streets.
What's like the biggest guy? What's his name?
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins. Yeah, you're either that guy or you're nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You're not
too
getting
many people get in that business. It's hard.
He's a crazy guy though.
Yeah, well,
He's
he charges a lot.
He's a crazy. You know, he's huge, like
yes.
7 foot.
Yeah, he's a huge guy.
He's like, and then when you see him, he's shouting at you.
It's intimidating.
He's got a crazy documentary where he like pulls people out and he's like shaking them, yelling.
Oh
at
yeah,
them.
dude.
Anyways, yeah, he's trying to be Tony Robbins, obviously. Even speaks a lot of English.
He does.
For like his most powerful moments of his speech, it dips into English.
It does.
Like I guess that's a much more powerful thing. I don't know why.
Maybe.
It's a lackluster
I never
language.
thought of the
It's
English
a lackluster language
Yeah.
if you ask me.
I wasn't thinking
It's
of
not
it
my
being a
favorite.
powerful language, you know.
But yeah, he's small time, but his family is like, he's got a long history of mental illness in his family.
Yes.
His mom killed herself, hanging.
Yep.
Both the kids found her.
Yep. And then
From a fan. Yep.
he's foaming from the mouth and all.
It's really hard to keep that motivation,
Oh,
that
God.
charisma in your life when everyone you know is dying around you. Yeah. So then that happened when they were young, him and his brother. And his brother had a pretty strong mental illness pretty early on, and he ends up killing himself, his brother.
He does.
And that puts our antagonist into a kind of a downward spiral.
Yeah.
And this is crazy because this is like the prologue
to the film.
and it's 40. I timed it. I wrote it down. Oh, maybe I did. Oh, yep. It's 30, almost exactly 30 minutes before we get the title card.
That is insane.
That's why it almost
that
felt
is
like a
funny.
mini-series to me.
Yeah, because that is funny you bring that up because I remember seeing that title card and being like,
I thought the
Hold
movie
on.
started.
yeah, I thought we were like
Nope.
balls deep into
Prologue.
this thing. That's insane.
A 30-minute prologue.
I guarantee that's probably the longest prologue in history. It's got to be. I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen a film longer than that.
That's a long time to wait. So yeah, that's just the prologue. 30 minutes is just him and then his brother dying and then him moving to what does he move to? Mumbai?
Yeah, Mumbai.
Yeah, and then he moves and then he's not doing so well. And then just this agency just out of nowhere they see like one video of him.
Well,
and this agency
it's
like
because-
build and that's the element before you go, that's the element I really loved. It's like this agency is building like profits. Like they're just doing it for the business. I love that because I'm really interested in like these new religion. The whole time I was thinking LRH, Hotel Ron Hubbard.
Oh yeah, Scientology, absolutely.
He was the biggest con man, and that's the exact same thing. It was like if you want to make a ton of money, start a religion.
Exactly.
It's
I mean, it's a good business to be in, and like I had gotten so many ideas in my head just based on this.
Yeah,
Like wow, you could take this type of story and take it a million different ways.
Yeah.
But the reason why these like mafia guys, this Illuminati people, Isaac and Solomon, was because of that casting director. He helped that casting director lady in the elevator, and then later on kind of befriended her, and then through that, these two were able to find him.
Yeah, and I really thought she was gonna have a bigger role.
So did I
as well, because again, we spent 20 minutes with them in the elevator.
We did.
So it's like, I'm like, man, that could probably been shown in 5 minutes or even a minute, like a flashback of them being in the elevator or something. But
I really did like they used like metaphors and symbolism, I think, through this, even visually and also through dialogue as well. But they changed his name to Joshua Carlton, and they brought it up in the film too. So it's not like it's some great reveal.
but
but
I don't know how much it is symbolism, but it's right on. I mean, he did it on purpose. He did it because it was Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But they have to change your name to like a biblical name for you to be a good. And then he kind of goes to like
Bible school.
He kind of goes to like television evangelical boot camp.
Yeah, he does.
Where they kind of just show you the ropes and show you how to be a really good liar.
Right.
Yeah, because they didn't care at all that he didn't believe.
No.
And I think they even might have preferred it.
Yeah. He literally said, I don't believe, but he wanted to take a step forward, And I do like that too, how later on they do the exact same interview with the other guy after he screws up on the TV show. And he goes, no, I want to move forward. I don't want to go behind, or I don't want to look behind.
So, yes, so he does that, and he's still not looking great. You know, he hasn't had a job in a while. But,
Of course not.
But they bring him up. He goes to the TV, and the guy who teaches him everything, the guy's in it, that guy looks so familiar. Was he in something else? It's the second guy, Delish Pathan.
Yes, he was. Man, he does look familiar.
I swear he looks
Let's
so
look at
familiar.
his filmography here.
Keep going down. I think it was to be something. Holy shit, dude. He does
Yeah,
a
dude, this
lot.
guy works. He works and works and
Come
works.
Along Unites.
Oh, Virus, too. And Come Along
And
Unites.
he plays
Yep.
the inspector or the pastor in Come Along Unites.
Yeah.
The one that refuses to bury him.
Right, yep.
Duh.
Well, and Matthew is from Come Along Unites, too. He's the older brother in it.
Oh, yeah, I knew that
Sobin,
immediately. Yeah.
or Suwabin, Shair.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The one who immediately knows that he's faking it.
Yeah.
Right, and he tricks him. He's on the TV, and then I guess kind of his career gets ruined because of it.
I guess so. Even though it came out, the toxicology
immediately.
report came out that said he was drugged,
Immediately.
and he still lost his job. Poor guy.
And I remember he's in the bar, and he's like looking at it,
Yep.
and he's like, "Oh, they ruined me," and he had a grudge the entire time.
Well, understandably.
Yeah, they did poison him.
Yeah, they did.
Well, they did throw him under the bus, though. But yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, that part was the whole TV interview. Again, I thought went entirely too long. Could have went on 15 minutes because the longer it goes, the more questions I have.
Yeah.
Like the thing about it being live and like
How'd he get all this time to drug this guy last second?
Yeah.
It seemed a little unbelievable with that.
So
I totally
it
agree
could have
with
been, yeah, and of course he's gonna have you come on and want you to perform a miracle when you've
Right.
been performing miracle. You mean
on the spot. I mean, this guy is just healing people left and right.
yeah? Have you ever
know?
seen a TV interview anywhere? Of course they're gonna ask you what you're known for doing to go on it. But he was really put off by that, and Isaac and the other guy
Solomon?
weren't happy.
No,
about
they were
that.
pissed off. Well, because remember, when they go to commercial break, Solomon and Isaac are like, "Okay, we're done. We're pulling you off." And he goes, "No, I'm going back on."
Yeah.
And then he does this, and he screws it all up.
Well,
It's
he
a
does
big
it, and it
old
actually looks
debacle.
good for. It
does
looks
look
like
good.
he performs a miracle
Yeah,
at first.
it does
but,
look like that, but you know,
It's immediately found
Matthews
out
is
that
smarter than that. He's like, "I was
Well,
drugged."
is he? Because I feel like they still found out and still might have fired him for looking for like a fainting on TV. Besides some of those things, there was some scenes that were shot really, really done, really well done.
Yes.
Cinematography wise, I like the scene. It might have lasted too long, but when he first like leaves the boot camp and then he does his first like concert or whatever, I really like those scenes a lot. When they're bringing the people on, it's really well shot.
Well-
But it lasts probably 20 minutes too
well
long.
shot and just so well acted
Yeah.
by Fahad Fazil, man. I mean, just phenomenal. Like he actually, I was buying it myself that he was this, big time preacher.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I thought so too. And the church he was at, fuck, I'd go to that church.
Yeah, it looks like a fun time.
For sure, it's a
People are
party.
just-
Yeah,
just partying, man. I love it.
they're just vibing, and I'm on it. I'm in on it.
Another Christian reference to another kind of like, I guess, symbolism, or we can find a different word for it. But Christ rose on the third day. We all know that. But so did JC. So did Joshua.
Of course, he came out of his coma on the third day. Yeah, after attacking Solomon and Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird, and this is again where it's like this film. I felt like it should have been just a straight up drama, just about
Yes.
this guy who had this crazy bad trauma. And even at one point, he like starts to use that trauma to benefit him. You know, he even talks about it at one point about his mom and his dad, or his mom and his brother dying, and how that kind of rose him. Because remember, he's lying about the whole thing, about how he pretend he like laid on the track or whatever, and he saw the light and all that.
When I thought,
And by
some
that
of
point, the guy that was helping him was like, Jesus, this guy is fucking crazy.
I thought some of the psychological elements too kind of rang hollow for me. And this kind of goes to your point with the drama, because any of the psychological elements in this film, I saw coming. Like,
Yeah.
we knew, and they showed it pretty early on. Like, we knew he wasn't taking his pills. We knew, he wasn't, quote unquote, actually crazy. So it kind of took away. I kind of wish they wouldn't have showed, and this is where you could condense this film too, is not show us that so much, but have the audience wonder more, okay, is this guy actually crazy or not? Because I knew the whole time, I go, there's something isn't right about this, but I think a better approach to that would have not been showing us, the audience, that whether or not he was crazy, like kind of keeping that open to interpretation.
Yeah, I wish there was a little more character development of him going from, because, the reserved guy and then him becoming, the big fucking prophet or whatever.
Right.
Because it really just flashes for that. And then it goes like, it's 2 years past after that. And then they're talking about how he's kind of crazy now. And they randomly say, and I thought I missed it. I almost had to go back. But they're like, yeah, he's kind of crazy after 2 years of giving him drugs and shit. Mm-hmm. Did they ever show him giving them drugs at any point?
No, just the pills. Just the morning, noon, and afternoon pills by Esther.
Yeah, but that was
it.
That was way
That was
after
way
they said
yeah.
that. That was after he went on TV and everything when they were talking about that he might be crazy now. So it never showed that. And that, I mean, it makes sense because he's obviously a little off his rocker at that point, but it never shows why. They just randomly say they've been feeding him pills for 2 years, and that now he's just. I wish they would have shown that,
right?
At least,
and I agree with that.
But yeah, he definitely does go a little crazy, but it ends up being the pills. But that's what this kind of movie is all about: is being dependent on all these things, being dependent on drugs and alcohol, being dependent on religion, and being dependent on other people as well. Yeah. It's a film that's all about dependence.
Well, I think too, if this would have been a real psychological thriller, the character of Esther, had you not shown Solomon and Isaac like hiring her and stuff, and she kind of just came in, and the other girl disappears, and then the original girl comes back, I thought that would have been an awesome element to add had they not shown us before. Because remember, Avarchan. Or Arvachan, yeah. Anyway, he comes up and he's like, oh, no, that's a figment of your imagination. She's not real. But the audience knew she was real, so it takes away from that element of like, okay, is he crazy, is he not? Because you realize he's spitting out the pills. So it's just, for me, it's a really weird thing. This is the last time I'll talk about this, but it's just a really weird thing that they titled this a psychological drama because, in my opinion, it really wasn't. It was just...
Well, I wish it was either a psychological thriller or just a drama.
Yes.
Because I agree with what you said. Yeah, it's it needed to be one or the other.
Yeah, it just took away from it because we already knew.
Yeah, because there's no doubt that she was real. And like they played it off like at that point you were supposed to be like, fuck, was she real? But I'm almost positive other people were interacting with her besides him. So, I mean... But
what a cool element that would have been, though, if it was just them by themselves the whole time.
It would have been cool,
and then you find out, oh my God, maybe this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Did this girl actually exist or not?
But they didn't play enough to him being like crazy enough. No. Like they inferred it a little bit, but they should have shown more. Again, I think they should have went through that 2-year period of like a roller coaster where he gets really popular and then he starts to feel, because I think like it never really dives deeper into the brother and the mom dying after a certain point.
Yeah.
Like remember he takes. Like, you think it's going to keep getting deeper and deeper because even when he first, like, goes into the school, he immediately takes the fan down because he can't stand looking. Yeah, exactly. Because everyone he knows hangs himself by the fan.
PTSD.
But once he starts getting, like, famous, starts being the girl, we never really dive deeper back into the trauma or anything like that.
And that was something with this film, too, is, like, they set up so many great ideas, but they just didn't execute them at the end. And not to say that this film was horrible by any stretch of the imagination, because I found myself enjoying a lot of it. But it's just, if they would have tightened it up a little bit more, I really think this could have been a groundbreaking film, like a really awesome, well done 2 hour and 15-minute film.
Yeah, exactly. I felt it was kind of the mix of the Indian films that have been watching, where it's those masala films. They have a little bit of everything in them. And then the Malayalam films where they've been really grounded. And I feel like this one is a mix of both that, with one being a longer runtime as well. But I really felt like they were trying to cram in a little bit of everything. Even music. They never get into singing, but the songs are like they're like Bollywood songs. They're songs describing the story. At one point, they're singing about Matthew, the guy with
the host.
Matthew, why did you do that? And the song, I'm pretty sure that was the lyrics of the song that they kept saying. But
one of the artistic kind of scenes that I actually really enjoyed was when he was wearing the sunglasses. And they were like lighting up, and they were doing like unique, cool shots. And I was
at that point, I thought it was going to become a completely different film.
Yeah,
like he was going to have maybe some kind of actual ability or something. But he gets out of that, and he becomes like Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I know.
And then they
just
never
threw
dived
that
deeper.
guy like it was nothing, and then that was the end of it.
That was
It's
it.
like they just had to sprinkle every single genre in this film when they really didn't have
Exactly.
to.
And with him being like reborn on the third day and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely thought he was going to have heavier Jesus ties and like at some point maybe heavier religion. And
Right.
it seemed
Like
like
he
it
was a
did want to
prophet.
go that, but they had to go in so many different directions and they couldn't fully establish it.
Yeah.
Well, not even that prophet. I thought they were going to get into it that he was actually going to start believing he was Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end, obviously, him not being
Right,
it.
not
but
being it.
they didn't do that.
And that's the thing, yeah, there's just...
There's so many routes I wanted
so
them
many
to go,
routes,
and then
yeah.
they didn't end up going any of them,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But we do get a slap
We
at
do.
about an hour, 23 minutes in, I counted.
I knew you were going to bring it up.
Yeah, we
I
got
knew you were going to bring it
a
up.
decent slap. It's a slap after he does the television interview by Solomon, I think.
Yeah.
Wields back that fucking slap.
God damn.
Not the end of that, though, because they end up hitting him in the head with the golf club in that scene, too.
They do. Which
Slap
if-
didn't do it.
No, it did
Slap
not.
is usually all you need.
Normally that'll knock a man right out, no problem. But not this guy. Not Viju.
And that was another kind of problem I had, which I know it sounds like we're complaining a lot about this film. Again, I didn't hate it, but
No, I didn't hate
those
it either.
films, those scenes seemed like they were trying to go for like an action film scene, especially we can talk about the ending scene. Did not feel like it was a drama or a thriller. It felt like it was like a big like action scene
Yeah.
where the bad guys are finally losing to the... This movie wasn't an action movie at
No,
all,
it was
though.
not.
But it ended with like the bad guys getting...
One having like a massive stroke.
Well, yeah, he had a heart attack because,
Yeah.
again, he was dependent on the pills. Everyone's dependent. But I'm talking about the two, Solomon,
Yeah,
and,
Solomon and
Isaac,
Isaac.
who die in a
on the-
crazy...
Which, yeah, we got to
You
talk
take
about
that scene out and put it in like an action movie, you go, oh, that's a good fucking ending for
Yes.
that. But it just didn't fit here.
No, it didn't.
Guy came in hot with the scythe and everything.
Well, we got to talk about that character, Thomas, which
Which
was
I
a
like.
I love that element
I
of
love
it.
that subplot.
Yeah.
Which would have been great if you were going to go and you just focus on him and his kind of development into like this prophet.
Yes.
But they didn't. They didn't end up going with that. But I do like that subplot with Thomas and his
daughter having the fever and his wife being like, please, let's just take her in.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, the power of God, the power of God. And then, Pastor Joshua Carlton, he talks to him on the phone and he tells him, no, God will heal her. God will heal her. You must have faith. It is a sin not to have faith.
Yes.
And so he eventually lets his daughter die.
And this happens like all in like the last half hour
Yes. It's like,
I wish they
condensed
would
into-
have. I wish they would establish Thomas way further back, and then had him
Follow
like
him as a subplot.
and then sprinkle him out through the entire thing.
Exactly.
Because they established him like 40 minutes before the film ends.
Yeah.
Like they just like had to have a reason for Solomon and Isaac dying in a brutal way. So they had to with. I think just having those two guys kind of like their business ruined and having a light shined on them would ruin them enough.
Yeah.
Not to the point. Although they were like overly bad guys, like killing
They're pretty
everyone.
evil, yeah.
It was so I don't know why they.
When
made him do
again,
that.
like they were going to kill Joshua had he not arisen from that coma and just replace him with someone else. Business as usual.
Well, they were going to kill the guy who poisoned Matthew.
Matthews, yeah.
And then they were going to kill the girl.
That's
they-
Esther, yeah.
And they ended up like
Being like, I guess we're not going to kill
they
her
ended up
now?
being like selling her to like the sex trade and like in an epilogue because this film wasn't long
It
enough.
was- yeah, no shit. We need an
We had a
epilogue, too.
post-credit scene.
I know, we
epilogue.
find her in Amsterdam at the red light district.
I guess they're flesh traders or whatever they're.
Flesh traders, yeah.
Because yeah,
I know.
So those guys were just overly like evil.
Yeah, they were.
I
And
felt.
I mean, they did deserve to die, but
yeah, but I
a
felt.
strange
I felt
choice.
their character arc could have been just bad enough that them being like businessmen who were selling religion instead of what you're supposed to do with it, giving it away for free. But no, they were like fucking again like Illuminati, like and doing all the dirty work themselves. Like guys this powerful, you really
don't physically go
again,
out
it's
there
a
and do
two-man
that.
company. These guys are running this giant operation.
I know, having no employees, having no henchmen to do your dirty work seems a little weird.
Yeah, so they're doing everything. They're killing everyone by themselves, but they're never getting caught. So that was another problem I had.
Yeah.
These guys were just fucking evil bastards.
They were.
But, I mean, again, selling religion isn't that like not the most evil thing you can do?
It is pretty evil.
It's pretty
is
fucking evil.
pretty
Taking advantage of all these people that aren't
Truly believe,
and
too.
aren't going to hospitals because they're
Yes.
buying, because that's what their whole thing was like. They didn't want people going to hospitals. They want buying this magic.
And
cream.
that's what Thomas was doing. He kept buying
Yeah.
the holy water and pouring it on his daughter instead of taking her. You know, so not only are they lying and deceiving, but they're also ripping these people off,
Yes.
which makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's bad. Something I do really enjoy though was I liked the score, not the soundtrack, like where it's like the singing music, but the score I liked a lot. It was overly dramatic in some areas
It
for
was.
sure,
Yeah,
like that we've seen before in other films too. But at some point, it really worked. Like when he first tells him that he's changing his name, and he's like, "But I'm changing it to Joshua Carlton," and he explains the Jesus thing. The score really picks up, and you see like the transformation, like the click in his eyes, like, "Oh fuck, I'm Joshua Carlton now, no longer Viju." I love the score in that moment, and the score throughout it is pretty good, but sometimes overly dramatic for sure. When it feels like it's just two guys talking, the score would be like
It would just
rising
like really
up,
pump up, and you're like,
like
geez.
swelling. Like, what's gonna happen here? You never know. But yeah, I really enjoy the score, and the cinematography was great,
And that was
the
one of the
acting.
highlights
The
for
acting
me.
was
I
good.
really the camera work was great. Like I really didn't have a problem with the
Yeah,
cinematography
except
at all.
so much slow motion.
Okay, that
They're in love with slow motion.
dude, they love slow motion.
In India, they
They
love,
love
slow
mo,
motion.
man.
It's not warranted. Every scene,
No, it is not.
some guy pouring orange juice, slow
I know, it's
motion.
slow-mo.
Guy delivering mail, slow motion.
Even two guys in a car just turning to each other, slow motion.
Slow motion.
I'm like, oh my god, like.
Yeah.
Don't. It doesn't need to be that much.
Well,
You
even
don't
the
need to add
final
that much
scene,
drama
the
to it.
final fight scene, the entire thing was slow motion.
Yes, it was. That's
Or
right.
I
it
get
was.
having a 30 seconds of slow motion, but the entire thing was slow motion.
Well, even the last scene when they're running, when Esther and Joshua are running towards each other, it's the whole thing's in
Yeah.
slow motion. The ending, I swear, I wish I would have timed it. I swear that run was 2 minutes,
Yeah.
just them running towards
Yes.
each other, and I'm like, oh my god, we gotta stop with the slow mo.
The
It's a little
slow-mo,
too much.
Slow-mo was a little much. And man, you turn that slow-mo and just, you're shaving, I kid you not, 20 minutes.
20 minutes, dude. If every single slow mo was just in real
Regular
time,
time.
it would have shaved 20 minutes.
It's 20
You're
minutes.
absolutely right.
It's 20 minutes
Yeah.
easily off. It seems like they're like delaying. Like they know they have
Like,
to
we
have,
have to hit this 2:45 mark. You know, this 2 hour 45
slow it
minutes.
down. Slow it down. But yeah. Something I have to say though about the girl. What was the girl's name?
Esther in this.
She rolled a perfect blunt. My God, did that thing.
Pretty impressive stuff.
It went from just like her like half handing it, and then the next scene, it's perfect. But we did get that warning.
We did. We got to get that warning in Malayalam.
Warning, but we didn't get the warning for the last film we watched.
We didn't.
I don't understand it, man. We can't figure it
that's
out.
weird.
I don't know.
Angamala Diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. Did we? Or did we?
It was one of the last two films we watched. They were drinking and smoking throughout the entire
Well,
thing.
Ema U, we saw.
Oh, I
warnings.
think it was Ema and they weren't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get
I
it.
don't understand in this one. In this one, I think there was a warning every time, although they didn't drink and smoke it. It's pretty much was just her.
Mhm.
She was a fun gal.
She was. She was having fun doing her thing.
And I don't even know what her job was.
Nor do I. I don't even know, like how do you even
Would they
find
hire?
someone-
Was she an actress? Was she?
That's what I guess she was supposed to do.
And then
just to
she
find out
had-
if he was crazy or
we didn't get into it, but she had a whole side plot where she had a kid
She had
and a guy that
kid
ran
and,
off.
like an abusive husband.
He was
that
like an
ran
actor or
off.
something,
Yeah,
I think.
I don't know.
But she was just kind of up for anything. You gotta admire her work ethic.
You do.
But yeah, I like the acting was a thing by Fahad Fasil that carried this for me for sure.
It absolutely
And some of the
did.
scenes I loved, and I was really excited where I thought it was going for a lot of it. I'm like, man, this is going to be exciting. But then it went places that I didn't agree with.
Yeah, that were unnecessary. Didn't need to be. Didn't need to go there.
Yeah, and I don't think it needed to be 2 hours long.
Well, you mean 3?
3 hours
Yeah,
long. I think
3
it
hours.
needed to be 2 hours
Yeah,
long.
it needed to be.
But yeah, you got anything else on it? Overall,
No,
it was
yeah.
a pretty good. It was a pretty good film.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at too. Did I hate this film? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Just captivating, just watching Fahad Fazil. His performances were awesome. I thought the story and the ideas were so intriguing.
But execution.
Yeah. And I keep going back to that. And as far as like recommending this, I got to be honest, I don't I think I would say performance-wise, yes. The ideas, yes, but don't expect a grand ending. That's what I tell him.
And if it was 2 hours long and it was still around this, this kind of material and it still wasn't perfect, I'd recommend it for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't feel like everyone's got 3 hours to watch a movie that's just middle of the road.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to recommend it. But it's not, I don't feel like I don't think it's the worst Indian film we've watched.
No.
But it's definitely not the best.
No.
Not quite.
No. Alrighty. Well, that is our review for Trance. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day on our YouTube channel. Be sure to check us out on social media, Twitter, Seen It Podcast, SCENEIT Podcast. Have You Seen It on Instagram and Facebook. Almost died there.
Yep.
Podcast audio format, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.